This bike's got a Bonnie Truett frame, which is low center of gravity. It's a better ET frame by a bunch. It's some more of the modern stuff. Motor is it's modified knuckleheads, real original iron head that's highly modified.
And you did all this yourself?
Oh yeah, and different rockers. That's the reason the covers, because the knuckle rockers are 1-to-1. That just won't get it done on drag
Not on the drag strip, eh?
So, and that, I had to make my own cover. That's just to keep dirt out and, and the oil and everything. And the motor is 5-inch stroke, 3 5/8 bore, so it's a 103-inch motor.
Okay.
That's as big as I ever run. But this little unit here makes it think it's a big motor, because it pumps a lot of air in. It's a very modified Detroit diesel 53 series, and it's a 353. And I had to make the end plates and everything because they really don't have bearings in them. They're just aluminum on the diesel.
Okay.
So I made all the end plates and everything, the drive and everything. I just made all that stuff. And the injector, these air intakes, I made those out of flat metal to keep dirt from coming off the wheel, you know, split it. And the hat, the injector, we call it a hat, I made that as a 2 butterfly because it matches the blower inlet better than a single like I ran on the other bike.
Okay.
And we run about 26% overdrive on this setup, and which produces a lot of boost. When everything's real tight, the fresh blower, everything, I've seen 39 pounds on the boost gauge.
Okay.
You know, it makes a lot of boost. Transmission is B&J 2-speed. It's a planetary type that pulls all the time. There's no skip and shift. Shift it with this red button right there. We got accumulator that you pump up to 450 pounds of pressure, and there's oil on one side and air in the other. And the oil goes to the clutch pack in here to go to high gear, and it all goes 1-to-1. And this is a same clutch as Elmer Trett ran on the Kawasaki. John Shoemaker in Ohio makes clutch. It's a multi-plate, and I added more arm fingers on the clutch, and then I hydraulic manage it with a timer.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't know I could set my clutch in like 2 seconds or 1.5 seconds or in tenths of seconds. Set it to come in the final lockup.
Okay.
Different drag strips would have to be slicker, have to lock it up later or earlier. And fuel tank looks like it doesn't hold much, but that's not the only fuel tank on board. There's a hidden surge tank under here that holds another 3/4 of a gallon.
Okay.
And I draw my fuel from that tank down there to the fuel pump. It lets all the aerated bubbles get out, because I return all the fuel back to this tank, and then it runs back to the surge tank, and it's good, clean, unfrothy fuel picked up back to the fuel pump. So kind of little tricks like that. Everybody wants to know what all the stuff on the handlebars. I run 2 ignitions. I run a Vertex Magneto. That's what the big transformer is for. Then I've run another electronic ignition that's a multi-fire ignition here, and I can stagger the fire, do a lot of things to keep the fire lit a longer period. That's what the two switch is for. Then the fuel shut off here. This little switch right here arms the clutch lockup, because once you open the throttle wide open, it triggers a little micro switch down there that starts the timer for the clutch. So during the burnout, you don't want it on. You cut this switch off, do the burnout so it won't start the timer, because it's a one-shot deal. You have to pump it up every time with fluid to hold the arms back in the clutch. Gets a little funny, but that's the way that works. And you know, I did the metal work, all aluminum and all everything on here except the chassis. Push rods are super big. They collapse if they're not. Jim Limeweber designed these for me, and I made them from his design.
Okay.
It's not my big chain. We used to run a double row and start making more power, and it just wouldn't hold up. So we had to go to the same big chain that Elmer Tritt had on his Kawasaki. Other than that, it's just a standard little drag bike.
A standard little drag bike. God bless you, Pete.
The rear wheel is carbon fiber. Its tire was given to me from Goodyear, and for years I tried to get them to make this tire, and they said there wasn't any demand for it, but because I wanted a certain compound with a certain width and a certain height. Get them too tall and there's too much sidewall and they wrinkle and shake real easy. And keep a lower sidewall if they didn't make a softer compound in that, and wide enough. They'd only go to 12 inches. We wanted to go to 14. So they made one and gave it to me, and it worked so well they started making them. That's, other than that, you know, it's just ride the thing. Like Jackie said, when she mixed the fuel, pretty stout on the race one time, and cranked up, and it was violent feeling, and I asked her what percentage she had in it, and she said, "Don't worry about it, just ride the damn thing."
So Jackie's your secret weapon.
Yeah. She mixed the fuel.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time. This is outstanding.